The AHR Expo is a great place to visit, network, see products, learn technologies. I try to visit it every year and have some good takeaways. Hey, thank you for coming. This is Dave Sweet. We got another episode here. And with me is Dr. Allison Bailies of Energy Vanguard, which is kind of a building science or energy expert here with us. And he's going to give us some pointers and some ideas to think about when building an eco-friendly home. How you doing, Allison?
I'm doing great. How are you, Dave?
All righty. Thank you for coming and visiting us.
You're welcome.
So what do your company do? What's involved?
Well, we do a bunch of things. We do HVAC design, mechanical design, and we do consulting on building science projects where people have problems and they can't figure them out. We've done some legal work, expert witness and things like that. We also do quality assurance for home energy raters, people who go into a house and they can do the modeling and the testing and everything to figure out how energy efficient a house is.
Oh, awesome.
And so we do quality assurance for them, we do training, and what I'm most known for probably is the blog that I write, the Energy Vanguard blog.
Yeah.
We get 10 to 20,000 unique visitors every day to our site to read
amazing.
the blog.
Wow.
We get a lot of traffic.
Wow, and everybody wants an answer, right?
Everybody wants an answer. But some people already have the answer.
Yeah. Okay, let you know that. Yeah, well, that's amazing. Well, that kind of brings it, for me, I'm struggling with a couple different things. First is the envelope. To me, you got to start with a very energy efficient home, and there's so many things that go into it. And I'm sure, we're in the north and we worry more about heating than cooling, as a lot of your projects are more in the south, or do you do all of it?
We do projects all over the place.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, awesome, yeah. Yeah, so it's understanding the building science aspect of it. It has a lot to do with it for me. Is where do you do your water control, your air control layers, and in our case we're planning on a traditional framed home, but insulated corners and partitions. So we're being very cautious about that, but still making it structural. And then we thought we'd wrap it with rigid insulation. In our case, I was looking like 2 layers of 2-inch, so total of 4 inches of rigid on the wall, so maybe like an R40, and then a roof a little bit higher than that, but the same kind of concept, but wrap the whole building completely in this type of envelope. Have you worked with projects like that before?
We do, and let me just back up a little bit. We're talking about the envelope or the enclosure, and we're talking about heat loss, but before you get into that, it's important to understand that the house is a system. And you got a bunch of different components that all interact with each other, and you want to make sure that they play well together. So, for example, back in the 20s and 30s, when houses first started to be insulated, painters started noticing that houses with insulation in the walls had problems holding the paint, and so they started refusing to paint houses with insulation in the walls. So one answer to that could be, don't insulate houses, but that's not the right answer. We know that's not the right answer. The answer is a house is a system, and if we understand how changing the heat flow through the walls affects the moisture dynamics in those assemblies, then we can make things work around it. So the house is a system.
So we got to finalize the house plan, and I got to get you on that because, like I say, I'm struggling with that. Kind of decided on technique and things, but it's all the little details, the flashing, the windows, all these other little things. It's not just, hey, I got a blower door test and I did good, but other things that go on to it. Oh, awesome. And then, mechanical systems, you do that, you said design as well?
We do mechanical design as well, including ventilation. And HVAC is heating, ventilating, and air conditioning. And any HVAC contractor who doesn't do the ventilation is an HAC or a hack, right?
That's a good term right there, yeah.
So ventilation is really important. I've spent the last 2 days at the ASHRAE 62.2 meetings. That's the Residential Ventilation Standard Committee.
Oh, very specific
and,
to that.
they really dive into the details on proper ventilation of homes. And it's really important because, going back to something you just mentioned, blower door testing. One of the most cost-effective things you can do to make a house more energy efficient and green and eco-friendly is to make it airtight.
Yes.
So do the air sealing, make the house as tight as you can, and when you have a tight house, you need to have mechanical ventilation because you're not going to get it through natural infiltration. And when you have the tight house with mechanical ventilation, you're going to save energy, you're going to be more comfortable, the house will be more durable, you're going to have less moisture problems, most likely. So there's a lot of things to go along with it.
In a house, you don't want them staying with you. You seal it up, and then you smell dinner for 4 days in a row. Or something like that. So So we were planning on some ERV, HRV kind of thing that we would install and pull from kitchen and bath and stuff like that. But as the plan progresses, we'll meet with you and we'll talk about those places and what the requirements would be on that. And so, are there any specific pitfalls you see over and over and over again when people build homes, or they try to be green and they really just miss it completely?
Well, let's see. On the enclosure, detailing the control layers, the drainage plane is the most important. Getting the bulk water management right on the outside is absolutely critical, because the three main problems with buildings are water, and water.
Well, there you go.
Those are the three main problems. Most buildings fail because of water.
Yeah, siding doesn't stop water. So.
Yeah. So you got to deal with the bulk water first, because that can cause failure faster than water vapor. So getting the flashing details right around all the openings is critical. And there's a lot of really great products out there now for doing that. Tape sheathing and the liquid applied membranes and the peel and sticks, and it's a lot of different ways to do that.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah. Like I said, you walk in a house under construction, see water on the floor because the flashing system isn't working or other things. That's a problem. Like near us, there's a lot of vinyl siding, and it hides a lot of sin. Unfortunately, it's stopping all that ahead of time. How about when you talk mechanical systems? Is there any particular takeaway, or licensed professional, of course, is bottom?
So number one, it starts with design. This is the biggest problem with a lot of houses. There's not any real design. Somebody shows up and they scope out the house and they figure out what they're going to do based on what they see. Right. If you have a real thorough design, starting with the load calculation, so you know how much heating and how much cooling you need in that house, and then you choose your equipment, whether it's forced air or hydronic, whatever you're going to use. You choose the equipment, and then you design your distribution system so that heat gets distributed properly, and then you install it according to the design.
That's the other key thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be some back and forth. And we have some great relationships with contractors where we send them the initial design, and then we get into the details of the framing and find out that, we can't run that duct over here, so we need to make some changes. But you have to go back to the calculations to do that. You don't just move a duct, and because the size may change. The type of register you need on the end may change. So
these are all things to talk about. Yeah, we're also trying to do like a team approach too. Kind of bring in the builder, the architect, mechanical, and I think that's exactly what you just said there. Get everybody on board from the very beginning.
Because here's the thing: when you're building a house, you've got all these different trades. Well, you've got the builder, and you've got the framers, you've got the foundation contractor, you've got the insulators, you've got all these different trades, and they are working with their blinders on. They see the house through their set of blinders, and bringing them all together in advance, especially the really critical ones, can help them see beyond their blinders.
Right. Well, that's good. That's a good takeaway there. That open it up, discuss, and make sure everybody's comfortable with doing a certain way, and end result, you get a better product. So, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, well, that's great. I really appreciate you taking the time today and sitting with us and going through some tidbits, and look forward to talking to you more as this plan progresses and do some stuff. So, again, thank you for coming. Appreciate it. And, like I said, we'll be in touch.